A thick, black, viscous liquid begins to ooze up through them. It bubbles, pulsing with the beat. The smell hit him instantly. Ozone and copper. The smell of overheated electronics and old blood. The black liquid wasn't spreading randomly. It was pooling in the center of the room, rising up, defying gravity. It swirled, taking shape. A torso. A head. No features, just a sleek, vibrating mannequin of black sludge. It was made of the noise floor. It was the accumulation of every ignored sound, every deleted frequency, every bit of sonic garbage Leo had tried to filter out his entire career. He had built a temple to silence, and this was its god. The entity opened its mouth. There were no teeth, just a swirling vortex of that black liquid. Leo saw the entity raise a hand. The black sludge elongated, forming a sharp, vibrating spike. It pointed directly at Leo's chest. Leo lunged. Not at the creature. At the desk. He grabbed the main power cable for the entire studio rack and yanked it with all his strength. Kill the power. Kill the signal. He lay in the dark, listening. The thumping had stopped. The wet sound was gone. He could smell the smoke from the fried outlet. He fumbled for his phone in his pocket and turned on the flashlight. It was over. He'd reset the system. Leo stood up on shaky legs. He went to the door. He tried the handle. It clicked open smoothly. He stepped out into the cool night air of his hallway. He never went back into the studio. He sold the house a week later. He sold the gear. He got a job doing landscaping. Something loud. Something outdoor. Something real. He thought he'd escaped. He thought silence was the enemy, and noise was his salvation. But sometimes, when he turns off the mower, in that split second before the world rushes back in, he hears it. It was directly beneath him. But there was nothing beneath him. He was on the ground floor slab. Below the concrete was just dirt. Leo went back to the desk. His heart was starting to sync with the rhythm coming through the floor. He put the headphones back on. He needed to hear more detail. He loaded a pitch shifter plugin. By pitching the sound up, he could move those subsonic frequencies into the range of human hearing. He hit play. The thumping is gone. Replaced by a high, whining drone. The scratching sound is now a frantic, chittering noise, like thousands of insects. And beneath the insects, a voice. It wasn't possible. The voice wasn't speaking into the microphone. It was vibrating the microphone diaphragm from the inside out. He looked at the waveform again. It wasn't jagged anymore. It was undulating into perfect, symmetrical patterns. Not sound waves. Brain waves. Leo stood up. He needed air. He needed to get out of the box. He went to the heavy, soundproof studio door. The seal was too tight. The change in air pressure, something had pressurized the room. The thumping returned. Not just in the speakers. The entire floor was vibrating now. It was waking up. Leo scrambled back to the computer. Why? Instinct. It was his only weapon. He had to stop the signal. He reached to shut down the DAW. The mouse cursor froze. The noise was deafening. A wall of static that felt like sandpaper on his eardrums. But through the static, the voice was screaming now. It wasn't high-pitched anymore. It was deep, guttural, and horribly familiar. The room was deconstructing itself. The sound waves were powerful enough to shatter the adhesive bonds. Leo backed into the corner, kicking away the fallen foam. The concrete floor beneath the carpet was beginning to crack. Fine fissures spiderwebbed across the room, radiating from the center where his chair had been. Silence isn't empty. Ask anyone who works with audio. True silence doesn't exist. There's always a noise floor. The hum of electricity in the wires. The settling of the building's foundation. The blood rushing through your own veins in your ears. We call it room tone. It's the sonic fingerprint of an empty space. Leo made a living cleaning things up. He was a forensic audio engineer. Police sent him CCTV footage with muffled voices, he made them clear. Podcasts sent him recordings with bad static, he made them pristine. He was obsessed with the perfect signal-to-noise ratio. He lived his life in this soundproof box, chasing the impossible goal of absolute 0 decibels. Tonight, he was just cataloging. Recording 10 minutes of room tone for a baseline calibration on a new microphone. An anomaly. In a room built to exclude the outside world, something had gotten in. Leo frowned. It wasn't electrical interference. It didn't sound like a grounding loop. It sounded wet. Like someone stepping in thick mud, but digitized. He did what he always did. He isolated the frequency. He boosted the gain by 30 decibels. A massive jump. If it were normal audio, it would blow out his speakers. But this sound was buried deep in the subsonic basement. He felt it before he heard it. A pressure wave hitting his chest. A rhythm. It was too slow for a human heart. Maybe 30 beats a minute. Leo, being Leo, didn't feel fear yet. He felt curiosity. He was a technician, and this was a technical problem. He grabbed his shotgun microphone, the one used for pinpoint directional recording, and took off his headphones. The soundproofing in this room was rated STC 60. It could block out a jet engine taking off next door. Nothing should be coming in. Which meant the sound was originating from inside the room. He swept the mic past the computer tower. Nothing. Past the overhead lights. Nothing. He pointed it down. Toward the floor. He didn't destroy it. He just became its new container. The noise floor isn't in the room anymore, Leo. It's in you.